Hello and welcome back to me trying to build as much of the Buffyverse as I can possibly do. Right now I am building Ethan's, which is the costume shop, Halloween shop from the Halloween episode in season 2. It's also seen again in the one with like Giles' past coming back for him. So I had a lot of fun building this one because it was nice and small, and I also took some creative liberties. I added a flat above this shop. I imagine that there could be a flat above a shop like that. I know there's flats above shops like that, you know, in places where I live. And I also think that it can now double as where Ethan actually lives, because I don't think we ever see where he lives. So I think he's going to end up living on this lot, but I don't know, because as I have learnt doing this one and the build that I have done since, making clothing shops that actually look like clothing shops and could function as clothing shops is very difficult in The Sims 4. Mainly, I think the reason why it's hard is that Sims don't need to buy clothes, so there's no reason why they'd need a clothes shop. This isn't, you know, Sims free play where you do buy clothes separately for your sim. Somehow the Sims free play has a lot of the things that people have been asking for in The Sims 4, like spiral staircases and drum kits and functional clothes shopping. But you know, I digress. Whatever, it's okay. It was also difficult to make it look like a Halloweeny themed shop as well, just because there's not that much other than sort of the spooky stuff pack that really fits. In terms of obviously the most famous costume from this episode, the big Georgian style dress, I found a sort of Edwardian style, late Victorian style red dress, and I put that on one of the mannequins, the one near the mirror, just because that's the closest that there is in it that I could find in the game that also came in roughly the right colour. I will put a link in the description of this video to a really, really good file that someone has of custom content where there's loads of historical themed custom content, because there's some really, really great dresses. I really wanted to use some of them in this build, but then I realised that you would be able to download that specific dress from the gallery. But I managed to find a red historical dress about 100 years out, but it's close enough. It's not really, really modern, and that's what's important. And like I said, there is a flat above this shop that I added in. Fully functioning flat, looks like a typical rented flat, quite, you know, run down, just got the bare essentials. But I cut that out of this video, which is why it's so short, because half of the build isn't in it. But it's never seen in the show, and it's just quite boring because it's just me building a flat. I think the most interesting part is me trying to figure out what I can actually put in the costume shop and what Halloweeny props I can find that can pass as Halloweeny items. I also didn't put in me dressing the mannequins, just because it would be very, you know, choppy and changey going into cast, going out of cast with looking at different costumes. But in the sort of moving shots that I have at the end, you can see the costumes that the mannequins are wearing, so you're not losing out. And we come to probably the best part of the build, which is the sort of shrine in the back room. Something that I really like about this is that the little sort of head statue is called the Princess Cordelia head statue, and I just thought that that was really cool that the one statue we have is also the name of a character. before I upload this to the gallery, I need to remember that I need to go in and add another one, but the other way around, so it does actually look like it has two faces, like the original statue does in the episode. And there are a few shots in the dark of this room, so I know that there's a desk and lots of storage there, but I did take just what I could find, and there's not many like giant piles of boxes that aren't crates from cats and dogs that I could put in there. Like, that's the beginning of the flat, but unfortunately you won't see me building the flat, and I didn't put any screenshots of the flat in either, just because it's just a flat, it's not very interesting. But this is now the outside. Once again, not really any references for the outside of the shop, so I just sort of had to go with what it might look like based on what other shops in Sunnydale look like. I've tried to make it sort of blend in with the others. It's got the same roofing as the Magic Box next door, and you know, using the same plants as the surrounding area in Willow Creek. But I just sort of went with what might look right in the area, and what it could be like in Sunnydale, because there's not many ways to find what it looks like. I think the next shot that you're going to be seeing is going to be showing the dress that I ended up choosing to represent the Georgian dress. That sort of red one that you only see momentarily a little bit. But thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.